Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to be diving deep into an AWS service known as Lightsail, and we will see how we can deploy a popular content management service known as WordPress onto Lightsail. So, without much ado, let us look at a couple of information that will enable us to understand the concept of our implementation. So first, we will be implementing the process on the whole infrastructure will be built on AWS, as you understand. So AWS, of course, is perhaps the world leading cloud provider, and Lightsail is one of the many services that AWS um, offer. So that is that. We don't have to that is not debatable. So we're going to be looking again at what is WordPress. So WordPress is the world most popular content management system, and it is estimated that about 40% of websites on the internet are hosted on WordPress. So you can see how huge that is. If a particular tool or a particular platform could account for about 40% of the total website or blog hosted on the internet. So that is huge. So that shows how popular WordPress is. So that is why a lot of people, demand for it. A lot of organizations want to use it, and so it is a good, skill for you to know how to easily deploy this tool. So Lightsail, in its own right, is a is an AWS service, but it is designed in such a way that you can use it without diving into the nitty-gritty of AWS, technology. Because for you to use many of AWS tool, you will need to go through the learning process of of those tool. But Lightsail is designed such that, you know, it provides a pre-configured environment that will, devoid of all the intricacies of AWS configuration. You can easily go there and you go to get out of the box, setup and configurations that you can use at a go. So Lightsail is AWS simplified cloud hosting service. It provides pre-configured instance like WordPress. You can get your LAMP stack. You can create database as we are going to see, and it is perfect for beginner who want to take the advantage of the of cloud and doesn't want to go through the complexity of AWS. Also, it include compute, networking, storage, and IP addresses. So all this thing has been pre-configured for you. All you just need is to, choose, pick, and use them. So, and in this demonstration, we are not only going to deploy WordPress, we are also going to integrate the WordPress with a DNS system so that we can have a human-friendly naming system to, attach to our WordPress um, website. So also, we will also go ahead to provide security to this DNS name by encrypting with a certificate using an open source tool called Let's Encrypt. There's an open source tool called Let's Encrypt that we are going to use to provide security and encryption to our DNS. So all of these we are going to implement on Lightsail, and we are going to see how it look like. We are not going to be learning on how to customize WordPress. No, we will just it's like you are an engineer and a website designer or a WordPress administrator wanted you to provide them with the WordPress platform so that they can use. So your own job is to deploy WordPress and make it highly available. So next is we'll quickly look at the architectural diagram of how the integration of the web of the WordPress look like on our AWS Lightsail. So the architecture on the screen show a simple, you know, schematic of how the configuration of WordPress deployed to Lightsail looks like. So here we have the user, okay, the user here, which will be deploying, our, WordPress. This is our WordPress instance, and this is Lightsail. This Lightsail is on AWS, as you know. Lightsail is on AWS, okay, and when we spin up a Lightsail like an instance, okay, and we will be choosing a blueprint. A blueprint is a pre-configured, um, let me use the word image, okay, not in the actual sense, but it's like an image of a WordPress that has been pre-configured, and all you just need is to select it and deploy it on your Lightsail. So the instance you are creating, just as if you are creating an EC2 instance, will be an instance of a WordPress. You know, we have the option to do a multiple one, but in this case, in our demonstration, we'll just be snipping off just one instance of Lightsail, and that instance will be a WordPress. We have some other options there like Slack, like Nginx, like Apache, that you can deploy just out of the box. Then after we deploy this instance, then we are going to SSH, okay? We are going to SSH into this instance through Lightsail. We'll go to Lightsail and go into this instance and configure it. It is inside this instance that we are going to configure our DNS. We are going to set up our DNS, and in that place, we are going to be using a, a free tool that is called DuckDNS. Okay, we are going to be using a DuckDNS, and we'll also encrypt. Inside this tool, we are going to encrypt using something we call Bitnami set. Okay, it's an open source that is being provided by a service called Let's Encrypt. Let's Encrypt is an open source service that provide domain certificate and encryption on the internet. So, and after we have configured all these, then a WordPress admin can now go into WordPress and, configure whatever they want to do there. Maybe they want to host a blog or they want to host a website, and that's what they will be doing in that regard. So, I think we have said enough. Let us jump on our AWS console and let us put this into um, into practice. So here is my AWS Access Portal, and I'm going to log in into my administrative or administrator account, or let me say I'm logging into my management account as an administrator. Okay, that is better. So, and I'm going to go into Lightsail. You can see I have used it over here, but if you don't, in your own case, if you have not used it before, you can just type Lightsail, and we can click on Lightsail. So Lightsail is going to take us into, I don't want this. Sorry, I don't want to use multiple session, so let me just check again. I want to turn this off. Yeah, I just want to use a single session. So I will log in again, and I will go to Lightsail. Okay, so I'll go to Lightsail now, and this is the Lightsail um, interface. If you have not used it before, this is what you're likely to see. Okay, and this is just a brand new one that I'm showing here too. But if you have used it before and you have configured other instances, you are going to see what you have created before. So let us quickly use a minute to go through what Lightsail can do. Like I told you, it's like an independent platform within the AWS. With Lightsail, you can create instances, which we are going to be using. Okay, so if you click on create instance, you go to see options of ready-made applications and packages that you can use out of the box. You have both in the Linux and Windows operating system. So the same thing happened with containers. In Lightsail, you can also spin containers. You can see container of different sizes. You can select what you want and you can scale based on the number of container that you want to run, and the prices will increase accordingly. For example, if you choose 10 USD and you increase it to 10, you can see now that your price become what? $100. If you move it to 15, the price become $150, and so on like that if you move it to 20. So that means you are running 20 instances of this container. That is what it means. So of this container. So if you choose this container now and you move it to 10, that means you are telling it to um to set up this container and set up 10 instances of it. So you're going to be charged accordingly. And so one important thing with Lightsail is that it gives you a predictable cost. Unlike the regular um, feature of cloud, where you pay as you go, you know, but it is slightly different. In fact, it reverses the case in Lightsail, because Lightsail gives you a predictable amount, if not exactly, it gives you, if not accurate, it gives you a predictable amount of cost that you're going to incur at the end of the month. And that is one good thing about it. So that's why it's very good. You can recommend it to your customer, and they know what they're going to be paying every month based on the resources that they choose to use. So you can also create database in um, in Lightsail. It supports both MySQL and PostgreSQL, so you can launch your database instances, and you can see each of those instances. You can go for standard, you can go for high availability. So it depends on what you want to do. Also, if you see, this is the networking aspect of Lightsail. In the networking, you can create static IP, as we are going to do in our demonstration. You can create distribution, just like CloudFront distribution, where you can use it to front your S3 bucket for content delivery. You can also create a load balancer in Lightsail. Also, you can create storage, just like S3 bucket. And if you create the storage here, it does not, you are not going to find it in S3 bucket. For example, if you create an S3 a bucket here now, it's not going to reflect in your S3. It's going to be on a different platform in Lightsail, and it's very cheap. If I create one now, you can see I can create this, and I'm going to use it for it's free for 12 months, and I will start paying after 12 months. So you start paying, like this instance now that I choose, I'm going to be paying $1 per month for the storage. And this storage is about 5 gig of storage and 25 data transfer. You know that the data transfer into the bucket is free, but the data transfer outside is charged. So that is what this 25 gig data transfer actually means. So let us continue with So you can also, set up DNS. You can create DNS. So if you have an existing DNS, for example, now I have an existing DNS in my account, and that is the account, that is the DNS you are showing here. If I go into my account here and I go to Route 53, um, let's go to Route 53, and I go to register domain, you will see that you can see that I have this domain name here. So it is that domain name that you are seeing here. You can see it's the same one. So that means your light sale is also working in conjunction with your AWS platform. So and you can also create snapshot. You can create snapshot of your website so that if anything happened to it, you can restore the website. Okay, let's back to our implementation today. So I will click on instance and I will click on create instance. I'm going to go with Linux. You can decide to go with um, Microsoft. And these are options you have for Microsoft Server. You have Server 2022, 2019, and 2016. But we are going to go with Linux, and I'm going to go with WordPress. We have WordPress and we have WordPress multi-site. The difference is that in WordPress multi-site, you are going to have one platform managing multiple websites. So it's like a subdomain of WordPress. This is very good for high availability. And let's assume you are offering this service to a large you know, to a large customer. But in our um, demonstration, we're going to be going with WordPress. So after that, now we have something called hard launch script, just like in your EC2 instance, we call something user data. If you want certain action to be taken at the point when you are creating your EC2 machine, for example, if you want to install a particular software or a particular package, you can add that package as a user data. So that is exactly what a launch script look like here. Okay, but we don't have any launch script, so that's fine. Now, also, we are going to be creating an SSH key. Okay, we don't have a key, so I'm going to create a new key, and that key must be in the same zone. You can see if you look at the zone of your instance is in what? Virginia Zone A. You can change it, okay? If you like, you can open here and change it based on the zone that is close to you. For example, if you're in Africa, you might want to use London, okay? If you are in India, you might want to use Seoul, or you might want to use something that is close to you. That is what this is. But I'm in the US here, and I will be using Virginia as my region. So your key, um, your SSH key must be in the same region where you want to create it. So I'm going to click on create custom key, and you can see it is in Virginia zone, and I will click on create. It's going to ask me for the name. Um, I will call it SPZ WordPress key pair. Okay, and I will click on create key. And you can see say you can only download this private key once. So you have to download it and keep it. Now it is downloaded to my computer, and we're fine. And immediately it will be auto selected. So we're going to move ahead. In case you have your key before, you can upload the key, but we don't have one, so that's why we create another one. You can enable automatic snapshots, just like I told you. It is very okay and very recommended that you back up your website so that if anything happens, you can easily restore it. Now we'll continue, and you have the option here to what? To pick the instance size. This depends on the expected number of client or customer that will be accessing or that will be using your WordPress. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I will be going with the smallest one, maybe the $5 or $7. And it is very important to know that this is free for about 3 months, and you will start getting the charge after 3 months. Okay, you can see it is free for 90 days. So I'll just go with this, and I need to give my instance a name. So let me call it SPC WordPress. Sorry, WordPress server. I'll call it SPC WordPress server. And this is the number of server. If I want to create 1 or 2 or 3, I can do it, but I'm only creating 1. Okay, and I can add tag. I can add tag, and I can say environment. Let's just call it development, or we can just call it dev. And I'm going to go ahead and create instance. So now the instance has been created, and the instance is starting just like it does in your EC2 machine. So if I click on this name now, it's going to take me to the instance platform. So I have created my WordPress instance, and this is the size. It is 1 gig of RAM, 2 virtual CPU, and 40 gig of SSD storage, or RAM, or storage, I mean. So now it is now in the running state. And what are the information that we have here? We have the public IP address. This is an inconsistent IP address, just like you have in your EC2 machine. So this public IP address is not static and can change all the time. So we cannot keep this for our website. That means each of the time your customer will not be able to connect to your website. So we are going to change it. But before we do that, let's just quickly look at other information that we have. So we have the metrics. Let's first look at the connect. Under the connect, we have the ways in which you can connect to your instance. You can connect through SSH, and this one will be through the browser. Okay, and you can also use your terminal to connect through SSH. And we have the username. We have the SSH key pair that we created, that is here, and we have the IP address and the IP6 address. On the metrics, we have, it gives you the view of the content and the performance of your instance. We have snapshot. We did not create any snapshot, so we didn't have anyone here. And if we look at the storage, of course, this is 40 gig, and of course, that is the information that you have here. Okay, and it shows you the path to which is mounted. Okay, we have the network, and this network address is where you have the IP address, and we have the private IP, and we have some other configuration down here. And you can see something here. It says you attach static IP, which we are going to do. We have the domain. We are not creating any domain yet, so we can see anyone. We have tags. Of course, we have our tag environment, dev, and history will show all the action that you have taken. Our action so far is that we have created the instance. So the next thing we are going to do now is we'll go and create a static IP address to attach so that we can have a consistent IP connection or IP connectivity. Now, there's a network here. Look at it on the right pane. There's a network tab and there's a network tab here. There are two different ones. This is the network for the Lightsail platform, while this network is for the WordPress instance. So we'll go to network for the platform, and we're going to create a static IP. So you click on create static IP, and you select the instance to which you want to connect it, which is our WordPress instance. And you can give your static IP a name. I will call it SPZ WordPress IP, and I will create it. Immediately you create it, since you have selected the instance, it will be automatically attached to the instance, and you can see it from here. You can say this is the public static IP, and attaching the static IP to a dynamic IP address. And if you go back, I see this is the static IP here. So if I go back now to my WordPress, you will see now that the IP has been attached. If you remember, that is not what we have before. So now we now have a consistent IP attached to our WordPress instance. Now, the next thing we are going to do now is we can even go ahead now and access this website. So if I copy this IP address and I open another tab and I paste it and I click enter, you're going to see we are already in our WordPress. You can see welcome to WordPress. But this is just the WordPress landing page. We'll be looking into the admin page very soon. But one thing that is instructive here is that we are logging with the IP address, and also it tells us that it is not secured. So what are we going to do next now? Let's head back to our instance. And the next thing we are going to do is we are going to create a DNS name that we are going to attach to our instance. And we are going to be doing that on a particular open source DNS name called DNS.DuckDNS.org. So I will come here, I'll open another browser, I will type DuckDNS.org. DuckDNS.org allow you to create a DNS name, and use it, temporarily. I don't advise you're going to use that in production environment, but we are just using it here just to demonstrate it. So this is the platform, and you can log in with any of this information. You can log in, as a persona by creating username and password. You can log in with your Twitter account, GitHub, Reddit, and Google. So I'm going to be logging in with Google. Okay, and let me just go with this. And of course, you can see I'm logging now, and I already created this, but I'm going to delete this so that you can understand what I want to do. Now, this is what you're going to have if you are just logging in. This is what you're going to have. Okay. Let me refresh. I don't know why. Okay, I will log in again. Okay, now I'm logging, and we are going to create a domain name. And you will come here and click on. You type your name here. The domain name, you're going to type it here. And I want to call this my website, my WordPress website. I want to call it SPZ WordPress server. That's what I want to call it. And I will click on add domain. So you can see now the domain name has been created, and it has provided me with an automatic IP. But this is not the IP of my instance. So what I want to do is I want to connect this domain name to my instance. And you can see over here, this is your domain name. So what we're going to do now is that we are going to head back to Lightsail, and we are going to copy the IP address, which is the static IP address that we attached to Lightsail. We'll copy it. We'll go back to our DuckDNS. We are going to add the IP address here, and we are going to click on update IP. And you can see now it says success. IP address for this has been updated to this. So now if I copy this domain name now, and I go back to another tab, and I paste this name and I click enter, you can see now we now have, or let me even close this. Since we have this before, let me close it. Let me open another tab and let me place it. And we can see we are able to access the same page with what SPC WordPress.duckdns.org. If you have your own customized DNS, you can also bring it in. So, but now something is instructive here. It says what? Not secured. So that means this website is not secure. So we have to go ahead and make it secure. And in that case, we are going to head over to our instance, and we are going to connect into our instance. Now we can connect to our instance using so many methods. You can use your terminal, such as your WSL, Ubuntu. You can use PuTTY. You can use Git Bash. You can use Mobile Xterm. Okay, and you can also connect from here using the browser. That is not recommended. That is not advisable because it opens your site to a lot of attack. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to be connecting through the browser, and that means I'll be using this tab. Now, but before we do that, you can actually close it. If you go to network or networking, and if you see here, it's saying SSH port is open, and you can see 2 points here. It says IP address and Lightsail browser. This is what allows you. This is what allows you to what, and if you read whatever you have here, if you read whatever is in here, this is what allows you to be able to access the instance through the browser. So if I want to, like those, when I set up this for one of my clients, what I did was to what, you can edit it and you can restrict, you can disallow connection to, for example, if I remove this now and I restrict this IP address, maybe I just restrict it to maybe my IP. Maybe I just do 1.2.3.4 and I click on save. If I go back to my instance now, you will see that I will not be able to connect again. If I go back to connect, you will see that that button is disabled. And this is how it should be done. If you are setting this up for your client, make sure you disable this so that they can only access the instance through their own IP address. You will restrict it to the IP address of the user. Okay. So, but the purpose of this, I will just go ahead and go through the browser. So I'll just edit this again. I will allow this and I will save. And if I go back to my connect now, the button will be there. So I'm going to click on this button, and this button will connect us directly to our instance. The instance is managed by Bitnami. Bitnami is a package service. They are into package services, and they provide out of the box already made packages or instances. So now we are logging into it. Let me clear the screen. And I'd like to update. Let me try to update sudo apt update. Okay, just update it. It is very important. Anytime you spin up a virtual machine, it's advisable that you run an update. This will make all the packages available for you to use. So I'm going to clear the screen. And what we are going to do now is have a simple script here. Let me show you the script. And this script, what is it doing? The script is going to be, let me do this. Okay, this is the script. The script is going to be looking for something called Bitnami bncert-tool. This Bitnami bncert-tool is the one that will encrypt this DNS name. Okay, it will encrypt this DNS name to make it secure. So when we run the security on it, we'll find out that this not secure will go away and our site will be secure. If you click on here now, it's saying connection not secure. This is not good. You cannot do this to your to your client. So we are going to head back now to our client, and the website, sorry, this script would look for this bncert-tool, and if it cannot find it, it's going to install it, and it's going to ask us a couple of questions so that we can encrypt our DNS name. So I'm going to copy this script. I'll copy it and I'll head over to my instance. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create um, a shell script, and I'm going to be using VI. So I'll use sudo VI. If you can use nano, that is fine. I'm very used to VI. So I'll say VI setup DNS set, or let me just say setup DNS.sh. I will click on this and I'll paste this. Okay, you can see now I've pasted it, but there's a problem. And the problem is that it's showing what I'm going to do here is this. It's showing, it doesn't look like it copied very well. So what I'm going to do is I will just clear it. I'll just clear this. What I'm going to do is I'll just use colon %d. That will clear everything. So I will just copy again. So I have copy again. I will click on insert. I'll click on I for insert. I will right click and paste. Okay, this is fine this time. But there's another problem. You can see it. They are all commented out. If you look at it, there's there's this sign in front of it. So we need to remove it. If not, they will not work. So we need to remove all these signs apart from the one above. So, and then there's a command to remove it. Let us do that. So I just have to be in the command mode. I will come down here and I will paste it and I will click enter. So it's going to remove all the pound sign in front of here. So you can see now all the pound sign has been removed, but we need it in front of our she branch here. So I'm going to click on insert and I'm going to go right up there and I'm going to add it. So now we are fine. So I'll press on escape, colon, WQ, exclamation, save and quit, and I will do clear. I will do ls. Okay, so that is our script. So I need to make this script executable. So I will do sudo chmod plus x, then the name of the script, and I'll click enter. And if I do ls now, you can see the script has turned to green. That is now executable. I will clear the screen and I will run the script. So I will do slash setup and I'll click enter. So it's going to ask us a couple of questions and we're going to respond to it. So first it has us to add the domain name. So we'll head back and what's our domain name? We'll copy it from here. That is this. You copy it without the HTTPS. Just copy it. Then we go here and we'll paste. I will click enter. And it says the following domain were not included. That is, it's not going to add www. If you want it to add it, you say yes. If you don't want it, you say no. Yeah, I don't really need it. I'll just say no. I'll click enter. It says press enter to continue. I will click enter. Enable HTTP to HTTPS. So what it's saying here is that if anybody want to access your website through the um, unsecured protocol HTTP, it will direct you to HTTPS. Yes, I want that. So I will type Y. I will click enter. I said, do you agree to the change? Yes, I agree to the change. I will click enter. And it's going to take a couple of seconds. It's asking for my email. Yeah, you can put any email. It doesn't have to abc123@gmail.com. It doesn't matter. Just put any email. But of course, in your production environment, you're going to pull the original email. Click enter. It said, do you agree that Let's Encrypt, we are subscribing to the Let's Encrypt agreement that will go ahead and encrypt our certificate. You can see, create a free HTTPS certificate, okay? And it's going to create it for this domain, okay? So we'll click yes, and it's going to do that. It's going to take a couple of seconds, and it's going to tell us it is successfully created. So let's give it a few seconds. Yep, and that is completed. And if you look at it here, it says what? The Bitnami HTTPS configuration tool succeeded in modifying your installation. And this is the information reported. Okay. What this has done is to create a secure SSL certificate for our domain. So now, if I head back to my domain now, this is the domain here. You can see it is non-secure. This is the domain name. If I refresh now, this non-secure will go away. because this domain has been encrypted. So I'm going to refresh. And you can see now it's now secured. If I click here now, you see it. Your connection is what? Secure. So that means we can now run on this website securely. You can see this, you are securely connected to this website. And if you want to look for more information, you can click on it and you're going to get further information. So you can see this is security, this is the permission and all that. So now our website is what? Secured. So the next thing to do now is we now need to access the WordPress admin platform, where, if you remember in our diagram, the admin person will have to go there and administer whatever they want to do in the WordPress instance. So what we have done here is that we have created the instance. Okay, we have created the instance, we've created our website, we provided the DNS name. Okay, we have SSH into it and we have created a login. So now we want to give this person the permission. This is the WordPress admin. We want to give it the permission so that you'll be able to work on WordPress by customizing and hosting and setting up whatever they want to use. That is what we are going to be doing next. How do we do that? So we are going to go back to our instance. And if you look at it here, you say access WordPress admin. And for us to do that, Lightsail has done something for us. It has given us the default WordPress admin username, which is user. And it has also given us how to retrieve the password. Now, if I click on retrieve password, this is going to take us to a page where we are going to get information on how to retrieve our password. But before we do that, we can access the WordPress admin in two ways. You can click here, access WordPress admin. If you open it, it's going to open another page and it's going to take you to where you're going to access it. So if I click on this now, it will take me to the page. But I don't want to do that. Okay. Since I'm already in the WordPress admin here, I will just come to the website and I will put /WordPress admin. If I click enter, it's going to take me to the admin page. So now I'm in the admin page. The Lightsail has given me the username. I'll copy it. The username is user. I'll put it. And I need the password. How do I get the password? If I come here and I click on retrieve password, it's giving me all these options. It says I should go into Cloud Shell and paste all this. You can open Cloud Shell and paste it. I don't want to do that. The other option, it says we can just use this command, cat bitnami password, which is the last command here. If you look at this here, let me see if I can zoom out. I'm not sure. Okay, I can zoom out. Now, if you look at here, look at this password here. Can I see it? Look at it here. Cat bitnami password. This command will be able to give us the password that we need. So I'm going to copy it and I'm going to zoom in back. And now I will head over back to my instance. Okay, I will click enter and I will clear the screen. And I will paste that command. And I will click enter. And see, it has provided me with a password. So I'm going to copy this password. I will copy it. Then I will head back to my admin page. I will paste the password. If I want to remember it, I can remember it. Of course, there's an opportunity to reset it. And I will click on login. Not now. And boom, we are in the WordPress platform. And so this is what the WordPress admin needs. And it can come here, it can come to user, and you can create another user. If you want other user to use it, you can come to settings, and you can create another setting. And one important thing here is that make sure that this membership, anyone can register. Make sure it is not checked. If you check it, it means people can come at your back and create as many user in your account as possible. So you can come here and customize your WordPress admin. We are going to leave this for the WordPress admin to handle. This is appearance. This is where you are going to add theme, the type of a blog you want to post. It's going to give you a template which you can pick. You will pick, install it, and customize. And we have so many others in here. For example, if you want to choose this now, you just click on install, and it's going to install that. And if you install and activate it, so if you activate it now, that is what you are going to see in your WordPress. You can see now this is my WordPress, okay, and that is what I'm going to see. Then I can now move things about. I can customize it and all that. So this is how we have succeeded in installing WordPress in Lightsail. This is very handful. You can do this for your client. You can help them build WordPress and leave their WordPress admin to to help them configure. Now, it is important if you are following up, it is important to clean up so that you don't incur any charge, even though it is very cheap, it's still okay. So if you are done with all this, you can go ahead and clean up um, your demonstration. So you can come here and delete your instance. You type confirm and you will delete instance. And don't forget, we created a static IP. You can see the instance is gone now. We created a static IP under networking. I will go under networking, and you can see this is our static IP. You click here and you delete it. And I think we are all set. We don't have any instance. We don't have any container. We don't have any database. No any networking configuration. No storage. We don't have DNS name, and we don't have snapshot. So now we are all set. I hope you enjoy this, and I want you to try and set this up. Try to create WordPress and try to create a blog for yourself. Go to duckdns.org and try to set it up. In terms of encryption, I'm going to provide a GitHub link where you can get the command that I use for encryption, and I'll also put the step-by-step approach there that you can use on your own side. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any question, please put it in the comment section and I will try to, respond as soon as possible. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next video. Peace.